I need the script.
Shut up. No, you don't. Go. Go.
Alright, you little shits. It's happening. Ben 10, Race Against Time. Now let me just start off by saying this is a cinematic masterpiece. You have never seen anything like Ben 10 Race Against Time. So, the story of Ben 10 Race Against Time begins off with the man who directed the movie himself, Alex Winter, who has created a variety of movies, ranging from Ben 10 to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and the bogus one. The man even came back to work on another Ben 10 movie named Ben 10 Alien Swarm, which was a complete shithole, which had poor reviews just as its counterpart here. From what it sounds like in an interview, though, is that he could have done this movie for his son, who at the time was 9, and all of his friends were obsessed with Ben 10, which is confusing because he was 10. Ben 10. His son was 9. PewDiePie. But it also seems like he enjoyed working on it. He would have them tell him what he was doing right and what he was doing wrong with the film, and how he could correct his mistakes. That is how you know this is a certified children's masterpiece. The movie was written by Mitch Watson, who has been known for writing kids' shows and movies such as Spookville, Sonic Boom, and the Netflix original All Hail King Julian. All masterpieces. He has even he has been a Daytime Emmy nominee multiple times for All Hail King Julian. He's never won anything, he's only been a nominee. Oh man. The cast of Ben 10 Race Against Time consists of Graham Phillips as the star Ben Tennyson, who has been in other films and media which include things such as The King of Queens, Evan Almighty, and The Good Wife. He's also in Riverdale, Fangirls. Haley Ram plays as Gwen Tennyson in this adventure as Ben's cousin, who has had some varying roles to play. She's been in X-Men The Last Stand to play as a young Jean Grey. She's been in episodes of iCarly with her real-life friend, Miranda Cosgrove, also known as Michael Jackson. And she's been in the game L.A. Noire, where she portrayed the victim Jessica Hamilton. That sounds like the most fake name. Fake fucking name. There. Alright. The next big man is Lee Majors as Grandpa Max Tennyson, who had a role in the TV show back in the day, The $6 Million Man, where he played as a character named Steve Austin, and he wasn't stone cold. He was actually lukewarm and dirt, who had bionic implants. But his more recent roles include being in The Trojan War, Big Fat Liar, and voicing the character of Big Mitch Baker in GTA Vice City. The final man I'm going to talk about is Christian Anholt, who plays the villain in the movie Egon. He's also made a name for himself in the film industry. In 1999, he played the character Nigel Bailey in Relic Hunter, which was running for 3 seasons. Of course, though, he's a little British boy, so we don't give a shit about him. The movie Ben 10 Race Against Time is in the same universe as the original TV show, which I loved as a kid, which involves Ben, his cousin Gwen, and his grandpa Max going camping. When Ben goes off for a walk, when all of a sudden a meteor comes down with this strange alien tech that is this watch called the Omnitrix, in which it gives him the ability to change into a choice of 10 aliens for 10 minutes. I know, sounds like shit, but it's cool. Which include Heat Blast, Wild Mutt, Diamond Head, Accelerate, Gray Matter, Forearms, Stinkfly, Ripjaws, Upgrade, Ghost Freak. And he, with the help of his grandpa and cousin, fight aliens for the rest of the summer. Until the movie fits in with it, being the summer after, where Ben still has the watch and has to fight still. But upon arrival, Ben has to get used to school again, with bullies, girls, and homework again, which he struggles with all of them. And there's an interesting, to say the least, scene with him as Gray Matter in a family diner where he's wreaking havoc, throwing hot dogs and pies at people while spraying soda at the bullies and girls. And while dealing with that, there's also this evil guy named Egon, who's the villain of this movie, who wants to release the Armageddon, the Plumbers. The Plumbers are a secret group of alien hunters had been holding, but he escaped and left a guard at their prison by making him so old that he was near dead and frail. Ben actually ripped his fucking hand off. I'm not kidding. But Egon captures our heroes and takes them to the Armageddon, where he swapped bodies or something with Ben to unleash it, but Gwen and Max free themselves from the chains, which are kind of weird when you think about it. Hey, Dad. That was Meat Man. Anywho. But Gwen and Max free themselves from the chains, which is kind of weird when you think about it. Like, he's this all-powerful being, and his way of holding them is what I use when I'm feeling kinky. But Gwen has a heart-to-heart with him, where Ben comes off. But Gwen has a heart-to-heart with him, where Ben comes back to hold off Egon, while Max sacrifices himself to stop the Armageddon, but doesn't die, because apparently they didn't need him to, and they all save the day, which is kind of bullshit. There should have been, like, at least some loss. Come on. That's how you know it's a good movie. Look at Disney. Except they have to go to a talent show, and Ben as Wild Mutt changes back as a magic trick, and they get second. And that's the story of Ben 10 Racing in Time simplified. They lost to a fucking preteen group of dance girls. I rewatched the film just to see if it was as bad as I thought it was, and I found it to be kind of meh. It was enough to keep me entertained for the 67 minutes that it is, but I wasn't necessarily enjoying myself or the movie, as its quick runtime has them bring up a bunch of stuff and him to be an alien for almost no time. Not to mention, they teased Forearms, who is personally my favorite alien, who could have been cool in this movie, but I know they would have ruined it like they did with Heat Blast, Grey Matter, Diamond Head, and Wild Mutt. The animation for all of them is terrible, which is understandable since it's a TV movie, but it's Ben 10. You can't tell me they didn't have a bigger budget than other TV movies. They had an $18 million budget. Granted, this movie came out in 2008, but Tremors 4 came out in 2004 and had much better quality, while they only had $5 million. I think this movie could have been great if they had it and it was created later, so that the aliens could actually look good and cool, which is what made the show so cool before. But in this rendition, they looked gayer than a bear, which is what Wild Mutt looks like. Overall, I think that this movie is kind of horseshit, and I don't recommend it. But if you want a movie to laugh at and question whether people can have pride, then it's great. I rate this a 4 out of 10. Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about basically what's going on and why I don't ever upload now. Pretty much, I'm in high school. I have stuff to do. I want to live my life, and I'm not just going to sit in my room and edit all day. Every so often I will, and I'll still upload whenever I'm willing to, obviously, but it's not like I'm going to make this all of my life. I'm still a teenager, still want to experience stuff, still want to have fun, you know? Still going to try quality over quantity, so that's what I'm going for. See you in the next video.